Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Tennessee Volunteers and Josh Heupel continue their traction in the 2024 class. When you take a look at what this 2024 class is already, but more importantly, what it could become National Signing Day, I think Tennessee Volunteer fans are extremely excited. They add the commitment of Peyton Lewis, one of the fastest running backs in the 2024 class. We're going to talk a little bit about what Peyton Lewis brings to this program and how I think he fits just perfectly in this Josh Heupel offense. But what I want to get at more, though, is what this 2024 class could be for Josh Heupel, and this is exactly how you build a program. Some phenomenal years for Tennessee on the football field, and then you got to start pairing it up with the recruiting, and that is exactly what Josh Heupel is doing, drawing interest from five-star talent all over the country and potentially kind of putting themselves in a position to land potentially a top 5 class. Now, before we get into Peyton Lewis and what this class is and might be, I just want to say thank you to you guys. The support you guys have shown during the high school recruiting trail, like covering all of it, has been absolutely phenomenal. I love talking it. You guys have been absolutely awesome supporting the boys. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And for Tennessee fans, the amount of talent they're going to be having on campus the next couple of weeks, the amount of talent they're having on campus this weekend, you're going to want to lock in because it could be a very fun a couple of weeks, really, a couple of months for Tennessee on the recruiting trail. So again, appreciate the support. If you do enjoy it, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into Peyton Lewis first. And first thing you got to talk about with Peyton Lewis is the track speed. 10.5, 400 meter. He's a 2-time state champ in the 60-meter dash with a 6.37. And I'm not no track expert, but when you tell me he's a 2-time state champ, when he's running a 10.54, which is faster than a lot of the wide receivers in this 2024 class, it pairs up with the film you watch. This dude has absolute burners. He's a very smooth runner of the football, very good contact balance, and he's a perfect fit in this Josh Heupel offense. Because when you look at what Josh Heupel likes to do on the offense side of the ball, he likes to spread you out. He likes to spread defenses thin, and he likes to use every single blade of grass on that football field, creating space for his playmakers. And what's the best thing you can do for a fast athlete is give him space, and there's no doubt that's why Josh Heupel took such a liking to Peyton Lewis because of that game-breaking speed. When you give this guy room, when you give this guy open turf, he's absolutely dynamite. And I think that's why Josh Heupel went out and got him, and that's why I think he's going to be just a perfect fit in this Tennessee offense. Peyton Lewis is an awesome guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a top 200 guy nationally, one of the best running backs in the class. But I kind of want to talk about what this Tennessee 2024 class could be. Now, taking a look at what it is already, it's massive that you have your 5-star, your top quarterback locked up. Not quite a 5-star. You have Big Nico in the 2023 class, who's a 5-star. You feel great about the quarterback position, right? You have Joe Millen right now, probably going to be starter going into his 6th year of college football. As a Michigan fan, I know him well. Excited to see if he can kind of put it together. Then you got Big Nico and Jake Merklinger coming in as your quarterbacks the next couple of years. That's massive. When it comes to recruiting talent around the quarterback position, it's so important to have your quarterback locked in because these top wide receivers, guys like Ryan Wingo, who we'll talk about, they want to know who's going to be throwing them the football. And if you have a guy like Jake Merklinger, Nico I kind of locked in, that starts getting really enticing for a guy like Ryan Wingo and some of these other top wide receivers they're targeting and say, I get to go play with arguably the best offensive-minded coach in the country in Josh Heupel with elite quarterback talent throwing me the football. That's an offense I can see myself thriving in, especially when you start putting out wide receivers like Cedric Tillman and Jalen Hyatt into the draft. Jonathan Eccles, a very interesting prospect who I feel like should play edge, and listening to some of the scouts break him down, out of IMG, 6'4", 230, phenomenal length. More of the stories, he's going to be good at whatever position he plays, whether he plays tight end, whether he plays edge. He's a guy that I think is built in a lab for an edge rusher. A great get off, very long arms. He knows how to use that length that he has. I hope he plays edge, but again, if he does end up playing tight end, like he's gonna be a damn good tight end too. JJ Harrell, I heard still battling Ole Miss for his recruitment. I know he's committed to Tennessee, but I heard he is on flip watch there. And then you have Peyton Lewis and kind of building out the depth of this class, but getting to what this class could be, and it's already a top 10 class with your quarterback locked up. But let's take a look at what it could be, starting with the guys who are on campus this weekend. 5-star edge rusher Dylan Stewart from Washington, D.C. Freak, one of the best edge rushers, pure pass rushers in this class. And I think that's how this Tennessee program takes the next step, getting some of that elite defensive talent onto your roster. Dylan Stewart would be a great start. Sammy Brown, 5-star linebacker from the state of Georgia. his recruitment is going to be a battle. George is hunting for him. Clemson's hunting for him. But again, getting guys on campus is the first step to getting their commitment. And Sammy Brown's been on campus to Tennessee a couple of times. Ryan Wingo, the 5-star wide receiver, again, it seems like Tennessee's getting some traction with him. 5-star dude. You're going to play with good quarterback play. You're going to play with a phenomenal offensive-minded head coach. Amir Jackson, and then Cameron Fountain, all on campus this weekend. And you take a look, doing some social media research, it looks like Boo Carter and Caleb Odom are both on campus this weekend as well. So Tennessee having a massive recruiting weekend this weekend. And then guys like Williams Nwaneri, who had kind of a solo visit with Tennessee earlier this month. You love to see Tennessee. It makes sense that Tennessee's landing some top offensive talent, right? Jake Merklinger, J.J. Harrell, Peyton Lewis. That makes sense because when you have an offense like Tennessee has had, it's going to attract top talent. Well, I think Tennessee needs to kind of take that next step and kind of get into the Alabama and Georgia ranks is starting to get those athletes on the defensive side of the football. Dylan Stewart, Sammy Brown, Williams Nwaneri. You're getting their interest. You're getting their visits. Massive traction for Tennessee on the defensive side of the ball too. And I really do think that is how Tennessee kind of takes the next step. So for Tennessee fans, we're going to keep an eye on this situation. But again, massive recruiting weekend. A guy like Boo Carter, who I think is significantly underrated in this 2024 class, would be a phenomenal fit, whether he's playing offense, whether he's playing defense. If you're a Tennessee fan, I think you're absolutely thrilled where this program is going. The on-field play is phenomenal, but now you're starting to pair it up with the recruiting, landing top 10 classes. This class, if you get a guy like Dylan Stewart or Williams Nwaneri or Sammy Brown into the fold, maybe ending as a top 5 class because their traction with a lot of guys in the top 100. Very exciting time to be a Tennessee Volunteer fan. Again, we will keep you guys updated. This is a program that is obviously on the rise. You have your head coach of the future. You have your quarterback play mapped out for a couple years at the least. Exciting time to be a Vols fan. Again, appreciate the support you guys are showing. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.